Hi and hello everybody. I would like to welcome you all in this teacher enrichment program under the topic Creating Culturally Responsible Classroom. We all know that we all are in the lockdown period, but not everything is locked down. Sunrise, love, family time, fun, learning, reading, working, and our hope still not locked down. By unlock my hope, I'm going to start this section. According to my topic, I took a best example of our country, to know about India, what is culture and to create a positive culture in it. It's a beautiful surgeon and is one of the most oldest cultural diversity in the form of art, festival, customs, tradition, religions, social behavior, like so. In many countries, uniform culture is adapted, whereas in India, every 100 kilometers, one can easily experience a newly variant culture. And the next 100 kilometers, experience that completely different culture. Why not? The place where we are living and is also known as God's own country. Yes, our Kerala is the one of the top 10 cultural heritage places in India. We should be proud of it. Before entering to my topic, we all should know about what is culture. Culture is nothing but it is a belief, behavior, object, and the characteristic shared by the group of people. Whenever we discuss about the culture, there is some important terms it's related to culture. Social organization, customs and tradition, art and literature, religions and languages, forms of governments, economic system. Inside that, the many things we have to discuss about that. You know why it is important? Because our country, our workplace, our school, is increasing consists of various culture, racial, and ethnic groups. It helps to strengthen our love. We can learn from one another. Also, it creates a level of understanding between us to facilitate collaboration and cooperation. If you interact like this with others, it is easy to build a bridge to trust, respect, understanding across culture. Is there any diversity you can see in your classroom? Abusively, I'm telling your answer is 100% yes. Having a diverse group of students simply means recognizing that each and every students are unique in their own way. Some are having reading skills, some are having athletic skills, some are personality and religious culturally responsible classroom. Because we know what is called culture, we know what is called diversity and the diversity in our classroom. So it is very easy to give a definition about culturally responsible classroom. Culturally responsible classroom or a classroom that specifically acknowledge the presence of culturally diverse students and the needs of these students to find a relevant connection among them with the subject matter. The task to create a positive culture in a classroom as a teacher, what do you have to do? Environment counts for a lot when it comes to learning. It can influence motivation, concentration, memory, and attitudes. When students feel about their environment, they will become more positive about what they are doing in that environment and will be more engaged with you, the material, and each other. While you do have to put a little time and effort to developing or into developing the positive culture in your classroom, it will never time wasted. A positive energy always lies behind a trace in some other ways. For that, sure, he needs some important techniques to handle that. And here is the first one. Use survey method. Survey method is one of the best method to know about the students much better and gauge. Academically, they strengthen and weakness, determine their likes and dislikes, regarding with their subject matter, their learning style and pace. Because to knowing about the students well is very, very important for the teacher to handle the students in the class. Right? The second technique, use color psychology. Normally, we all know that different colors are there. In that, a warm color feels keep us feeling cheerful and alert, whereas the cool color, calm and reflection. As a teacher, you have to decide about which color you are going to use when you create decoration for your classroom and design hangouts and worksheets. Normally, black and white is the most common, cost-effective option. But you might be surprised what a little color can do for students' engagement. For that, Canva is the one of the best app we can use color wisely because it have countless resources. The next technique is make learning meaningful. Try to connect to learning with the real world as often as possible. Offer it with correct way and emphasize it regularly to keep learning relevance. Help students to get excited what they have learned and by giving it in a sense of urgency and personal relevance or by showing it how it is useful to others in their real life. But one thing teacher never forgot to do that the teacher should tell about the students why they are learning and what they are learning related that students learning with from where they have been and where they are going. It is very very important to each and every teacher should inform about this to the students to make learning meaningful. Create an experience. Right? A teacher can start the class we with an inspiring when education feel like an experience. The new information are meaningful and it is easy to recall later on. How? By telling many stories or family background and culture about the culture or give an opportunity for the students to share their real life experience with a peer group and it will create a good culture in that class. Teacher should always be with the students community. Also the teacher can use their resource to address the diverse needs of students. And the next tool, create a class social media account. At the time what we are doing that same thing we took as one of the tool to create positive culture in a classroom. It consists of cool. It consists of cool to post our school photos and videos on a personal Facebook page. It may be the draft of essay, group project, or a short videos of the students what they have learned, and invite the students to follow. And not only that, a teacher can use many online resources and allow the students to connect with other students around their culture or around the world. Encourage co-creation. When students work together, they learn more than the material at hand. It creates a valuable classroom culture. As a teacher, you should assign a work and allow the students as much creative freedom as possible. To culture in a class, as a teacher, we have to follow some strategies. What are they? Here it is. The first one, commit to knowing about your students well, socially, academically, emotionally. For academically, we can ask many questions to know about the potential of the students. And socially, we can put a talk with their parents or community members and how the students are behave inside and outside of the class. And we also know about the social behavior. And emotionally, we create an opportunity to share and celebrate their family culture in our classroom or in our school. So the thing what we are doing at the time of Bonum celebration. Be a role model, right? Require of yourself. The next step. What you would require of your students. So one teacher should work beyond the expectation of the students to become a role model. Okay. The next tool. Challenge your students. We all know that all students have a potential to learn regardless with their cultural or linguistic background. Abilities or disabilities. Many of the students often stop trying because the history of the failure. As a teacher, we have to know about the nature of the students and to make different types of creative thing to bring all the students to come forward. The next is built on your students' life experience. Can be cognition, emotional, social, and physical level. The current real world is the best example for them to connect with their curriculum. Allow the students for a deeper engagement and help them to connect with their individual community. Commit to building caring classroom communities. Students are more likely to succeed if they feel connected to school and positive, respectful relationship with the teacher help to create such an environment. A poorly managed classroom cannot provide a stable, respectful, and meaningful learning environment. by the end of this section with the three important points. I'm going to conclude my words. The first one, our learning environment is representative of the background and the culture of the students we teach. So, always teachers should be aware about the diverse needs of the students. Number cultural learning and culturally responsible teaching and learning goes beyond the classroom wall as well. So, which class and by which teacher is handled all these strategies and tools in the class, that class is the best and perfect positive cultural class or positive cultural responsible class. Last point is students will have a positive learning experience that help them to become a lifelong learners. Otherwise, from here itself, the dropouts count will be more. So, as a teacher, we all should keep on mind to follow all these tools and techniques to create a culturally responsible classroom. And I'm concluding my words by saying thank you for all those showing a keen here in this section. Thank you once again.